This is Jacob and Trent's project. This is the historic person section of the project. Bill Russell is more than just a professional athlete. He has also attended to assist in many political scenes when it came to advocating colored rights. Bill Russell participated in the March on Washington 1963 professional athlete. He also attended to assist in many political scenes when it came to advocating colored rights. Bill Russell participated in the March on Washington in 1963. Bill Russell and his father would take a different attitude when directed to a white man as compared to a black man. Bill Russell recalled a moment when a black child was sitting with weed and was sentenced to 66 years for possession of weed, while a white child, a couple of months after the sentence, to admire 20 years. Bill Russell was not afraid to let his opinion out in the world when it came to racism. I have never worked to be understood or accepted or liked. A quote from Bill Russell. In the quote, he talks about he doesn't have to work to prove he is equal to a white man. Bill Russell proved that he could be his own person. He went on in the NBA, earning 11 rings, some with coaching, some while playing in the NBA. Bill Russell is seen as one of the most smart and intelligent people playing the game of ball. What he did for his country and for society and African American community, said Golden State coach Steve Kerr, who has also used his platform to speak out against social injustices. Steve Kerr. Bill Russell was even a part of the NAACP along with many other athletes. In conclusion, Bill Russell did way more than just being an amazing athlete. In conclusion, Bill Russell defended many rights for the African Americans.
Due to technical difficulty, we were having trouble showing you these images, so we would like to show you these images of Bill Russell. Here's him swatting somebody's shot. Get that on my paint. Here's him with all his goated rings. Look at that cute face.
This is... Forget that. No, stop. Keep going. The NAACP organization was founded to help improve colored rights and equality. Many famous athletes, actors, activists, and etc. joined the ACP to improve the state equality. The NAACP today, still well and working. The NAACP was bigger, more... Hold on. The NAACP organization founded to help improve colored rights and equality. Many famous athletes, actors, activists, etc. joined the NAACP to improve the state of equality. The NAACP today is still around today and still well working. The NAACP was bigger and more thriving back in the 50s and 60s due to the beginning of the solution to the huge racist problem. Racism was at an all-time high and wasn't dying down. The NAACP to some was the way to get rid of the problems they were struggling with. The NAACP was based in a very virtuous city of New York. The objectives of the NAACP is 1, to ensure the political, educational, and social and economic equality of all citizens. 2, to achieve the rights for colored men and women. To remove racial barriers. To seek enhancement and enforcement of federal, state, and local laws securing civil rights. To inform the state of radical and racial slurs and of discrimination. The NAACP is a foundation that was used to help colored men and women have a secure life, whether it be their children going to school or even walking around in public. The NAACP helped colored people back then in a massive way, and they took huge problems and have reduced it to now very little racism, becoming a bigger thing as now, but has still made the problem not as much of a problem as it back then. Racism may still be relevant, but it is nothing compared to back then with things such as racism because of the NAACP. In conclusion, the NAACP had a huge effect on the past and still has an effect during the present day. Thank you. All right, you ready? They took a huge problem and have reduced it to, but as of now, racism is becoming a bigger thing. As of now, it's still made a problem, not as much of a problem anymore. Back then, racism was a lot more relevant and powerful, but it is nothing compared to back then. With things such as racism because of the NAACP. The NAACP had a huge effect on the past and still is present in the future.